much longer. Hold on, Reed.
Yo, that did 1,000,000? God damn.
My power surges. Reed, are you all right?
I am, thanks to you, Gaia.
Oh, Neutron.
I am Logrith, servant of Zodiac. I shall restore the power of darkness to the star. Past, present, future. Infinite possibilities condensed into a single moment.
Feeble steel protects nothing. How about you? Only I can protect her.
You would stoke the fires of conflict. Your blood shall free. Cleave. The light shall usher in peace. In stillness freeze.
Honestly, after guys, just Final Fantasy style? Hell no. What's up, Alice? There's no shot. There's a boss that they haven't even seen yet. A little too quick, I believe. I'll make a bet. I'll bet you every guild to my characters' names. All 27 of them. There's absolutely no shot the final phase is after Gaia. There's no shot. Impossible. Because the final boss isn't the boss that we've been thinking that it was from the beginning of time. Unfortunately. You know how everyone was thinking like, oh, like the final boss is the two of them fused? No, no, no. Unfortunately, no, it's not. I can say that much right now. There's no shot that it is, actually. It can't be. It actually can't be. What else is there? There's still P12 Phase 1. Because we did some lore concept, and it gave me like a remembrance as well. So realistically, after Gaia, there's a promise that Metron made to Logrith about them memory preservation stuff, blah blah blah, whatever, and also like interest, right? So objectively, you have to remove the influence from Shiva, so that the Reen influence can change Gaia's influence as Oracle of Darkness and Logrith. The objective is to get rid of the Ascian influence. Like, the Ascian influence has to be cleansed. It has to be cleansed. So, in order for it to happen, then you got to get rid of Metron's influence off of Shiva. But it's even when you get to Gaia, Gaia turns into Oracle because of the darkness imbued in Metron Shiva that it gives to Gaia to turn to the Oracle. So after that, you get Gaia. After you cleanse that, whatever happens at the end of Gaia has to be like a realization to like again like restore the memories of whatever it is with Shiva. So I think ideally what you're gonna do is you got to go back and fight Shiva, and then you got to do something with that to do something with Gaia, because objectively you got to fuse them together. But the fusion boss, it's not possible for Reen Gaia as the oracles of light and darkness to be the final boss. That there's no shot, because they wouldn't spoil the final boss in the art. That would be crazy shit. They wouldn't do that because they've never done that. The whole point of the mystery is to figure who the final boss is. But even if they show you the fusion of Reen and Gaia together, there's no way in hell that that's the final boss. So whatever boss appears after that one, because what that boss does is when you fight the Reen and Gaia combo together as one, they're probably going to be a boss that gives you a buff, and then the buff you need is to fight that final boss, and that final boss is what you use to prevent the rewriting of the both of them being influenced by the Ascian. So they said no to Lions Rampant. I mean, there's no lions. That's all. I mean, there's no lions. That's okay. They don't need to be no lions. We don't need lions. But I don't really expect them to like not skip on Promise. Promise can't be a boss that we don't see. That would be kind of weird. If it's just 3 bosses, that's going to be very bizarre to me personally. So like we'll see. I also didn't do the final. I didn't even do the MSQ for 7.1. So yeah, they mentioned the tree. They mentioned Promise was like a thing, but they didn't say that there was gonna be lions. Stay. Go. We haven't seen Promise. We are going to see Promise. There's no way that we don't see Promise. That would be very backwards for storytelling, especially with the because the thing is that you literally watch Metron's like little baby form, whatever, turn into Promise. Why would it be weird? Top was only 3 bosses. Yeah, but top wasn't 4 phases. Top was 3 bosses used 6 times. So you had Beetle, then you had Part 212, which was used for Phase 2 with the M and F. Then you had Phase 3, which was Hello World phase. Then you had Reboot phase for Phase 4. So Phase 3 and 4 was the same boss. Then you got Phase 5, which is just Dynamis Phase 2. So that's another 2 phases with the same bosses, but they also brought back Beetle. And it's already 5 phases. And then you get Final Phase, which is Phase 6. And then Phase 6 is Alpha and Omega, which that was left field. But that being what it is, there's absolutely no way there's only 4 phases in Fruit. There's no way. That's not possible. Because also, considering the timing, there's only been like 8 minutes. Or no. What is it? There's Opener, there's 2 minutes in the end of Phase 1. Then there's Phase 2, and you got the burst during what is it? The mid of Phase 2. That's number 3. Then you got the end, and that's 4. Come on, so what else is there? Then Gaia, you have another window, and that's 8. There's at least 4 to 5 more windows of burst damage that we can even like account for. There's no shot that the end is 8 minutes long. There's no way. The 4th phase can't be 8 minutes long. It's probably another. There's a guaranteed at least 5 phases in this fight. There's no way that there's going to be 4. I mean, like, that's fine if there's only 4 to 5 bosses for T. T's still heavily condensing, because with Phase 1 in T, you got Opener, and then that's it. Then you have downtime during prep for Limit Cut, which is a phase, by the way. That counts as a phase. Then you got BJCC, which you start with Opener. Then you have Burst towards the end, if you like use it. Then you got Phase 3, which is AP. And then there's like hella downtime during that part. But then you send it during J-Waves, and then you got prep for AP, or sorry, for PA, and then PA has 3 windows. But that fight also, like, not even 18 minutes long. There's no way that they make Fru shorter than DSR and Top, and then the same length as, like, UCOP UUT. There's no way. There's no way. Time Stop is a Phase 2, but it's also... Like you're not technically wrong. Like, Limit Cut is a transition from Phase 1 to 2. Like, it is. And people kind of consider it as part of, like, the end of Phase 1. Like, you're not wrong. But the thing is, like, the amount of time that's passed in those fights during downtime transitioning is not the same as it has been for Fruit. Like, in Fruit, there's no break. Going from Fate to Ring or to Shiva is almost instant. And then, like, the Shiva phase is long for, like, a phase, which is fine. It's almost like a 4-minute phase, which is, like, fine. Then you go into Gaia phase, and we don't even know how long that one is as well. Like, we haven't even seen past the first relativity, so there's no way that after that it's just gonna be the final fusion. There's no way. There's no puzzle. What's the Fruit puzzle? The Fruit puzzle that at least has been like noticed is that if you don't destroy the Crystals of Darkness, Reen's power surges and she can break Reen. However, the dialogue at the end of that moment doesn't change. She still turns into the Oracle, and she still starts off with Shockwave Pulse. Not that one, the other move, whatever the 1% HP is. Heartless Angel, whatever that move is technically called. It's not the right name, but still, they got that part. There's no way that they're not even close for day 1. They're not even remotely close. There's still at least a solid 2.5 phases that we have to yet uncover. So now I don't know how long. I don't know how long it'll take them to figure out relativity. But that's been the hard stop for like a couple of hours now at this point. How long have we been on? We've been on for like 4 hours. Yo, they've been stuck there for like a solid 3 on relativity alone. And the thing is, like, they can't even figure out what it is. They're dying off the first. I think the furthest is who is it? Is it JP? I think they're the furthest. I think Kindred is tied with them though. But the difference in percentage is like 0.5% at the most. They all die during the part where you start to activate the thing. There's no way that they're close. What if ultimate stage requires a puzzle? Maybe. I mean, I don't know. We literally have no idea, because when they start activating, now here's the question, right? If relativity is the puzzle, the question is, what differentiates the puzzle if you surge Gaia versus not? Because like that's actually like a question. You either make Gaia's part more difficult, because remember, after she uses the power to break the thing, literally Metron turns her into Oracle. So if you keep the power surged in her with the 4 crystals to break free Reen or Shiva, whatever, then realistically having the 4 crystals stay empowered to break her free actually could make phase 3 harder, which I feel like that is a possibility. But like, what I can tell you though is that no one at least has been paying attention, as far as I know, to check if like the relativity changes based on whether or not she does get empowered or not. And that's a good thing to look at now. If you actually break the darkness crystals and the ice crystals and you break her free by yourself, I wonder, it's a theory. It makes me wonder if like the order of debuffs change, if that, versus if you don't break it. Like, that could be part of the puzzle. Like, we don't know. But there is a piece of information that's very important to keep in mind of, is that when you break her free and when you don't, the mechanic happens the same. But what I haven't paid attention to is if the debuffs change in order, which is something that you can absolutely go look at. But at least as far as I know, there's some kind of explosion first, and then there's like an ice thing, and then there's like a teleport, and then there's like a stack. Something like that. You're giving Guy more power while leaving those crystals alive? You are. But like, the thing is that I don't, it's hard to know how much of an affectation keeping the crystals alive has versus like not, because like, yeah, it makes phase 2 a little bit easier in terms of the DPS check, because like a good 30% of the crystal wall gets cleansed by Gaia versus like you doing it. But at the same time, you probably can't do that for like a later phase that involves needing Gaia's power to be enhanced. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the thing, I don't know. I couldn't possibly tell you what it could be, because if you threw the idea at me that you had to save the caster LB to not break the darkness crystals, I would have been like, oh yeah, sure. But at the same time though, it's like there's so many possibilities. So and like, it's not even that Gaia turns on us, she doesn't. Gaia gets activated by Metron with the darkness imbued in her through the Ascian. So objectively, that goes back to my original point. If we were trying to save them and rewrite the future of what it is, objectively, the idea is that Reen and Gaia are friends, and you have to remove the Ascian influence. Both of them are currently influenced by the Ascian. You know? So realistically, you'd have to save Shiva by getting rid of Metron. Or at least have Metron kind of like Ghostbusters out of the body, so that she's, because you know, when she's like, oh, I'm well thanks to you, that obviously has like a malicious intent. You probably gotta like save her in that same format and let her like regain her powers with her consciousness available, that like she, instead of repeating the step, because probably like if you actually save Metron as Shiva, then you probably end up repeating the same thing like you did in DSR, where like you just go back and fight Gaia again. But if you fight Gaia and you like have like a moment where like a time thing happens at the end, because remember, like Gaia is the time boss. There's a time mechanic like crazy with Gaia. If you were able to actually utilize whatever mechanics she has to go back and fight Shiva, then you can go back and like repeat the thing like you do in phase 1 and phase 4 with DSR. But instead of fighting Metron Shiva, you're just fighting Shiva, and then Gaia saves it. And then instead of having instead of having Shiva turn Gaia into the Oracle of Darkness, you got Shiva, and then you got and you got Gaia, and then you got to fight something different, and then you shift the whole phasing out. If you don't do that, then you're probably going to repeat the thing over and over again. So the thing is, if you weapon Shiva's crystal part, Gaia says something like, that's not enough. I mean, yeah, but you know, it's hard to know if it's like a dialogue thing for like the funsies or if it's like part of the puzzle. Yes, we have seen phase 3. Phase 3 is the furthest that everyone has made it who's made it there so far, but they've been wiping to the first mechanic. So we don't even know they don't even know how to resolve the first mechanic in phase 3. What's up, Al? Yeah, so the mechanic is called ultimate relativity. How to actually do it is still got like the biggest question mark in the head. Right now, Lucrezia's group is discussing it as they speak because they got there and they keep on wiping to it and they can't figure it out. They were able to get like through it mechanically, but their DPS was low. I think the JP group has made it the actual farthest overall in terms of like mechanical execution, but like damage wasn't there as much. Whereas with Kindred, which is bottom left, they actually brought the boss down the lowest, but they keep on dying to the very first mechanic in terms of like the execution. So and I think the other group is also in that same boat. So it's kind of hard. It's really, really difficult to know for sure, like what's like where we at. But objectively, I guess we're trying to figure out what is like the method, because, like I said, they can do a lot. I don't have a clue personally. You know what I mean? I have literally like no clue. I didn't even think about there being like a dialogue option with the crystal part during the end of phase 2. I didn't even notice that until I thought about it. I was like, there's crystals light and darkness, you can LB3 it, but like what if you don't? And then they actually don't do it because the Dragoon LB3'd the white crystal and then Gaia broke the big crystal. So I was like, oh shit, like you can actually change that. Because I've been always watching the caster LB3. When I saw melee LB3, I was like, that's dumb. Why would you do that? But then when they did it and they actually got past the part, I was like amazed. I was like, oh, they can actually like do it. And it was mind-blowing because then it's like, oh, like maybe that's part of the puzzle. Because this whole time, we've been trying to figure out what the puzzle is in terms of like the fight. And I think still to this moment, we haven't even seen the puzzle yet. At least there's like a possibility of a puzzle with the end of phase 2. That's the closest thing you have right now to a puzzle. The closest thing. And even then, still unsure. So it's kind of hard to know for sure. But honestly, like it's been pretty hype actually. This ultimate has been incredible for the first like 3 phases. So far, in my mind, 10 out of 10 experience. Even for like watching it. Personally, for me, I've only made it through halfway phase 1 in an hour in the morning. I had like 1/6 of this coffee, got to like the end of Utopian Sky, and I was like, cool, let's watch the races. So we're gonna sit here for a while, and then my group starts at 9, so I'm probably gonna take a moment to go get food real quick and then heat up some leftovers from yesterday, and then I'll probably get ready. So, and then I want to go into Party Finder and see if we can like kind of run it, because I'd like to see if I can like see how far I can go and join like an actual prog group, and then follow like a toolbox or a raid plan or whatever the hell that they're doing, because they got a whole like thing going on for it though. So like we'll see. We'll see. There's a lot going on though with this fight. It's actually like a lot to take in at once. So phase 1 is very fast paced, even though it's short. But phase 2 is like, yo, that phase is long. That phase is long. I can't be convinced though. I can't be convinced that this fight is after phase 3 is Gaia, and then after, because they've already brought Gaia down to like 85%. There's no way after that it's just phase 4 and like a long ass cutscene, and then you just get big mode. There's no shot actually. I'm heavily inclined to think, especially with the storytelling with DSR and Top, that like there is a puzzle that involves you changing the course of operations with the fight. Because Yoshi P said that difficulty wise, it'll be closer to DSR. Which is cool because like DSR is hard. But they don't, I don't really think they indicated anything about like the difficulty of the fight in terms of like the puzzle. Like I don't really know. It's kind of hard to know that for sure. So like we'll see. But like look. This is Kindred right now. This is the audio from Kindred. What's the HP percentage right now? Like 58, 55, 50? She does at least 50% to break the crystal.
Are you alright?
She literally breaks the crystal at 50%. You saw that? You saw the crystal go into Shiva before she did the thing on Ring? Yo, that's actually... Yo, I'm very intrigued by that, actually. I gotta go back now, after this. I want to see how they perform this. Because it was literally Logriff's icon and then turned into Oracle. I'm gonna go look at that shit, dog. Hold on. Let's see how they do this first.
Present. Future. Infinite possibilities condensed into a single moment.
Stack is first. Okay. Then there is time thing. Okay. Click. Placement off fire. You gotta put that there. Oh. Alright, let them cook on that one. I gotta go back and go find that part. Where is it? I feel like they wipe during this part. They do. Squinton, hello! Welcome. Sorry, hold on. The theory craft, the theory brain is on right now. No. They wipe to that part. Nope. I gotta go further back, actually, I think. Wait. How's Will's first going? Woke up and saw they did Poke beginning P2. They're currently at the very beginning of P3, but they're not there yet to figure out the mechanic for P3. I'm trying to... There we go. Let me see. So there is a puzzle during this phase. This is the end of phase 2. There's a puzzle for this that I want to pay attention to and think about. They LB3 this. They get rid of the crystal. They get rid of the crystals of darkness, and the light is there. We just watched a crystal go into Shiva after they destroyed the thing, but specifically Gaia broke it. Okay, wait. This is the perfect angle.
Green, are you alright?
It doesn't happen with this part. Take note.